moving faster than you, then I know this city better than him.
What's up, DC Nation? We're back to another video on The Flash. It's a review of Season 6, Episode 18, Pay the Piper. And guys, this episode is split up into different stuff. We had the return of Godspeed, we had Piper return. We also had like some more stuff, the Mirrorverse. We had subplot with like Ralph and Caitlin. And it was a solid episode, but it didn't meet my expectations as much. And I'll dive into that as we go into this video. But if you haven't liked the video, give a big thumbs up, YouTube channel, make subscribe, and notification bell so you miss my next Flash review, the season finale next week that I'm pretty excited for. But guys, in this episode, with Godspeed, let's actually start out with Godspeed, alright? So Godspeed, he's been around for a while, right? I love him in the Rebirth comics, DC Rebirth. He's awesome. His whole story, August Heart, it's really cool. Last season, when he showed up on episode 18 of last season, coincidence. Last season, he showed up and got beat by Nora. I was kind of disappointed. This season, he showed up in episode 1. It was a clone. And we were going down that thing. I was like, alright, maybe. I'm like, come on, can he return? And then 18 episodes later, he's finally returning. The promo, everything's been looking awesome, right? And when I was watching this episode, so I was pretty worried because as we went on, he showed up in the first 27 minutes, or actually almost 30 minutes. He showed up in 2 scenes that are about 30 seconds each. So I was like, there's no Godspeed for most of it. Like, the first one, when he showed up, he comes to Star Labs, where I'm like, okay, so Star Labs does not have no security. He just, walks in there. And the second time, he shows up again, and his whole thing is he wants to steal Flash's speed. And it's kind of like Zoom. But he wants to steal Flash's speed. He actually has a scene where he steals all of the other Godspeed speed, which I was like, alright, that's cool. It's kind of like the comics where he steals, different people's speed, kills them. That was good. But the thing is, up to that point, I was like, alright, he's okay, but I'm kind of on one hand, I'm like, okay, I want him to be a clone, because he's not that interesting right now. But at second, I'm like, are we really going to get a clone again, because that's getting really repetitive. But in the final battle, you see Flash and him fight, which is actually pretty cool. The action sequence is very cool. You see him run through a cool, speedster fight. They're going through the stage. Barry's not fast enough, which I felt kind of weird, because, really, he had no speed. Last episode, he was barely dodging the evil Iris and stuff, the evil mirror Iris. But in this episode, he's like, I'll try my best to keep up with Godspeed. But for freaking almost 5 minutes, he's just racing around the city. Which I get, okay, he knows the city better. But it looks like his speed in this episode, he's fighting Godspeed, was alright, when he just found out about the Speed Forces dying. Maybe episode 15. But no, this is episode 18, where he's pretty much, all his speed is almost lost. It's literally at the last, 2%. 25% of his speed is left. But with this episode, he's fighting Godspeed, it looks like maybe 50% is left. He has actually a good enough speed to keep up with Godspeed. Which, Godspeed was fast. He has Mach 5, he was going really fast throughout the city, and it was cool and all, but there's a little, it's a little, continuity error, I think. Because, yeah, I want to see Flash be going fast, but at the same time, you're okay, last episode, he barely dodged Mirror Iris. How is he keeping up with Godspeed for almost 5 minutes? And yeah, I get it. You know the city. But even Godspeed, if Barry was super slow, Godspeed would run and catch up to him in seconds. But yeah, that fight was cool. How Godspeed was beat, I was I wasn't a big fan of, and how he was used as pretty much Piper's storyline to end it. But when we found out he was a clone, I had mixed emotions when we found out he was a clone. At one hand, I was like, alright, cool. I really not like him in this episode. Yeah, the action scene was cool. He looks dope, but his actual story was not that great. He's just a generic one-off villain. But at the same time, another clone, I'm really, when they actually show August Heart and Godspeed next season, I'm hoping we got Bloodwork and Godspeed, that'll be awesome. But still, when they show him next season, it better be really good. Alright, it better be one of the best Flash villains. Up there with Reverse Flash, up there with Zoom. It better, because all this anticipation and all this time of waiting is really making me skeptical of what they'll actually do. But I trust Eric Wallace, because I'm really worried about it. But guys, next we have Piper, alright? Guys, Piper, his story, we find out why he hates Team Flash. He teams up with Flash to take down Godspeed. Yeah, that's great and all. He looks cool, and the whole thing about how he's lost his world like Barry did, and Barry wants his world back, but he lost hope, but he reminds Piper to give hope in himself. Yeah, that was good. I like that, and it's cool that Piper can return, but the whole thing of him making him gay, it just came out left field for me. I was like, really? They actually just did that. I was like, really? It just felt like they just put that in there just to put it in there. It didn't feel that interesting, and it made it more like, oh, this is like a big part of Pied Piper's character, which I'm like, really? He has more interesting stuff in his character than this. So I wasn't a big fan of that. But still, the whole thing of how he lost his world, which is like his boyfriend stuff, like how he lost his world and he didn't have no hope, but Barry inspired hope in him, was cool. And actually reminded Barry to give hope in himself, and then go to Team Flash at the end of the episode and be like, hey, we gotta go take down Ian McCulloch, we have each other, and Cisco drops the bomb, let's go Atlantis. That was cool. I was really excited when they said that. I was like, Atlantis? Whoa, okay, let's go. But at the same time, I'm a little skeptical of that because I'm like, alright, will we get like a short scene next episode? Because next episode is season finale, so they can't spend that much time on that. But at the same time, it's like, alright, so will we get a short scene next episode, or will Cisco just walk in and start live? It's like, I got it, I just came back from Atlantis, we don't even see that adventure. Which, I feel like that's what they're going to do. But guys, also in this episode, other than the Pied Piper and the Godspeed, so which is pretty much like the main stuff, Barry is struggling with pretty much forgiving himself. He's like, if I've been with Iris, this fake Iris for 5 weeks, I didn't know this. He's like, she's gone, I need to save her. And he's going through all these emotions and stuff, and he has an interesting talk with Nash. Nash is like, hey, I caused freaking crisis on Infinite Earths, and I can't forgive myself. I can't pretty much say all those people died, hey, sorry, I can't do that. But I have to keep moving forward, and Barry does the same, which that was actually pretty cool. Nash actually has some cool parts in this episode. That part, and him with the Allegra, that was actually not that bad. And when Godspeed showed up and he had the gun and actually shot it, it reminded me of Zoom from season 2. When Harry, who was like the second Harrison Wells, actually tried to shoot, not Godspeed, tried to shoot Zoom. Like, that was actually a cool comparison. Not a lot of people know that. Maybe you guys did. You probably did, right? I felt the vibes there. No pun intended. But still, Cisco, with his thing, he actually had regret over not being Vibe. He was like, man, all the stuff that gives me answers, Camilla, she's gone in the Mirrorverse. I can't save her. Vibe, my power's gone, so what am I? And Cecile actually reminds him that, hey, you still have the answer, you still be a good guy. Hey guys, Cecile, going to Cecile, she was great in this episode. She had a lot of strong scenes. She had strong scenes last episode, and a lot of strong scenes in this episode, and she's becoming a better character. Like, she's always like that joke character. I'm like, alright, she's fine, but she's not great. Like, she left the show, I won't really care. But here it's like, alright, she's actually developing into a really great character with all these scenes. She's going like a Joe, kind of, where he has all the strong scenes. And speaking of Joe, in the first part of this episode, Joe and Barry talk. That was a good entrance to the episode. It was a great intro. But yeah, guys, overall this episode, the action was cool, the music really was good, directing was good, the writing was good, just my flaws was, alright, Pied Piper being gay, it came out of left field for me, and then Godspeed, like, yeah, another clone, it just feels very repetitive, and it was like, alright, we need main villain for the week, like, pretty much a generic one-off. You know what, we have Godspeed for next season, well, let's just put another clone in there, because Flash and Pied Piper need a villain to fight against. And guys, last thing is pretty much Ian McCulloch at the end when she's like, I need to go against Joseph. That's okay. Like, the Mirrorverse storyline has been dragging a little bit. And the subplot in this episode with the Mirrorverse, with like Iris and Camilla, that was good. I like that because Iris is finally gonna get out soon. She's actually like getting fidgety and stuff. Where Camilla's like, hey, I'll help you out. That was good. I like their interactions. But with Ian McCulloch, like, she's not as good at Blood. Like, maybe she'll become better, but who knows. I'm still excited to see how that turns out next week, though. And guys, a really last thing is the subplot with Ralph and Caitlin, which I felt was just kind of like, in a way, filler. Like, yeah, okay, she doesn't want to go meet her mom. It's actually like Killer Frost, so she was okay. But really, what elevated that subplot was Ralph. The actor that plays Ralph is a great actor, and he does it so well. It's probably one of my favorite characters in the show. So I hope we get more of Ralph and Sue in this season. Maybe next episode, maybe like a little glimpse. I'm kind of worried that they won't, like they'll just save for next season, which I'm pretty sure they will. But pretty much Flash has a lot of stuff to save for next season, a lot of awesome stuff for next season. But will they be able to finish this season on the right note? But yeah, guys, overall, I'm gonna give this episode an 8 out of 10. It's solid, but it didn't really meet my expectations. All right, it could have been amazing, but it just was solid. But it gets me excited for what could come next. But yeah, guys, in the comments section below, tell me what about this episode. Did you love it? Did you hate it? What do you think about Godspeed? Was he treated well? I don't think so. Like, yeah, he wasn't a real Godspeed, but come on, give us something more than just another clone. And guys, what do you think about the Atlantis name drop? That was cool. What do you think about Pied Piper? And what do you think about the episode overall? Leave all your thoughts and theories in the comment section below. And if you like the video, give a big thumbs up, new channel, make sure to subscribe and notification bell so you don't miss out on my next Flash review, which will be the finale next week that I'm pretty excited for. But yeah, guys, thanks for watching, and peace out.